That's right. We exchanged a few pleasantries. I happened to mention my portrait services, so she booked a session with me
When was this?
a few weeks ago.
What type of photos do you take?
For the paper, record shots that any idiot with a phone can take. My studio is where the magic happens. Mainly portraiture, but I dabble in other areas.
Boudoir photography?
No, I do have a boudoir set though. Lots of clients like it. It's all very tasteful and above board.
I'll be looking into it.
You can sleep in it if you want. It's a proper bed. Not sure you'll find anything you're looking for though.
I used a mango.
A mango?
Yeah.
For clothing?
Yeah.
Chief? Again?
Did Dorota have any online friends?
She didn't really use any social networks. Didn't have the time. Mainly just cello.
Go to any clubs or groups? Do you have access to...
No, she didn't email much. She checked the messages on her phone. What is it you're looking for?
anything that helps?
Okay, that makes sense.
But I obviously can't vouch for that.
Why were they crushed?
Good question. I do not know.
Oh gosh. You
Personally, just use it to flatten bed sheets. Oh. Unbeknownst. Welcome to Poe's Curie.
I'm Zach Weston. Just sharpening my powers of persuasion.
3 circles all attached in the center.
Yeah.
Zach! What are you doing here? Quick, don't let anyone see you.
Why don't you want anyone to see me?
What? You're the one who said we shouldn't be seen together. What are you doing here?
I wanted to make sure we were still okay.
What did you do? What did you say to Sam?
Everyone's talking about Dorota.
I know. But I suppose people like that attract trouble.
People like... Is that why you killed her? People like what? Is that why you killed her?
Home wreckers. Anyway, I hope you didn't just come here to talk about Dorota.
Are you happy Dorota's dead?
I didn't say that. But we both know what Dorota was like. She practically threw herself at you.
She didn't throw herself at me. Why'd you think that?
The boudoir sessions. Some girls get the wrong idea. I saw how she was looking at you. She wanted it.
You were there.
I've seen all your photos, Zach. All of them.
On a tightrope across a pool of sharks, but the sharks don't seem to notice me. They're busy. But I never hit the water. Now, this in particular, I think, is very interesting.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think it has several. From the sharks, I mean, often sharks, they stand for perhaps some danger that's lurking.
Hello, I'm Rain.
You're never reaching your end goal. Hoping that you, Monroe, as always, can string these things together.
Far off, I'll be honest, Poe, but there are different elements.
You have a lovely guest house.
It is quaint, isn't it? It's all my parents had when they died. We're literally sitting in my inheritance.
How did your parents die?
Father died first. Heart attack. They found him in the freezer when Mother died. She had a pulmonary embolism. I didn't really talk to them much.
Freezer?
Yes, she kept him in the chest freezer because she didn't want to be alone. Stored him perfectly. Still use it today.
Experienced something negative, but in this case, the sharks actually refer to the negative people that are in your life. From what you've said about you, so hard to keep your life back.
Rain! I'm surprised to see you here. I take it you know about Dorota already. All that stuff we talked about yesterday, that's strictly between you and me.
What stuff?
That's the spirit. Now, I think it's best if we don't get caught speaking to each other. Overcautious, I'm sure, but I think it's for the best nonetheless. Maybe we can get together for a lad's night out after this is all blown over. Yeah?
Okay.
Great. Well, I'll see you soon.
So you don't necessarily need to give them all of your time and your emotions.
Mm-hmm.
So perhaps, Marek, you need to take a step back. I think.
Shop. Today I've brought in a really cool object.
Sam, look, I can't talk right now. I'm doing phone readings. Got to pay for a job somehow. Lexi's locked in till 8 too. I can sort you out afterwards, yeah?
With 2 alien babies, and then it's wearing a.
We've got to stop meeting like this. Seriously though, Sam, I'm working. Can't it wait? Just give me to 8, okay?
A very good point there with the alien look. But
I met him yesterday, doing the rounds, looking for reading work. Actually, oh no. He did mention Dorota. He said there was this girl he was planning to meet up with. Said she was alone every Monday night because her parents go to the cinema. Do you know what that means? It was Dorota Shaw. I bet he is. It was that thing I told you about Dorota. I mean, I didn't know it was her then. He wanted to show me these explicit photos of her, but I refused. And that's when he told me about her being alone on Mondays. I wonder who else he told that to. Fine, Sam. Birmingham. Mercury took us to Birmingham. We didn't know what for. We never really know what for. But we turned up. It started with a girl, Ginny. She was South African. I only mention it because that was its thing. Yeah. We didn't know at the time, but in hindsight, it was after South African girls. 3 to be exact. The Traveller wanted 3. You should ask Bronwyn. She's the one that knows about rights. I just know it normally involves 3, and all 3 share a common attribute. I guess you might call them demons, in as much as they can get inside us. They come from other worlds. Kind of, yeah. Quantum physics is real, didn't you know? There are many universes. In technical terms, a traveller is a trans-dimensional being far more superior to us, in as much as they can choose which reality to hang out in. We just get this one. Yes, disturbingly. It's actually a lot more complicated than that. They choose a reality/universe where they actually evolve to become the person they're possessing. So they jump in a few million years before our timelines intersect. They can't just jump into someone. It takes a few hours for that. They make the decision before they travel, which is why we can catch them. Yes, probably. The tarot doesn't just sat-nav us to normal murders.
Doing something negative, but in this case, the sharks actually refer to the negative people that are in your life.
I'm Zach Weston. Just sharpening my powers of persuasion.
That you are worried that if you stop doing everything...
Zach, let me stop you there. You are one creepy fellow. Now, I don't know what you had going on with Dorota, but I don't want anything to do with it. Do not come back here. Please.
But Marek, what I'd like to say to you is that what you're doing is a positive thing, then you should always be receiving positive things in return.
I'm Oscar. Is there anything else I can do?
Case.
Very good.
Thank you for your dreams.
Welcome to Poe's Curiosity Shop. Okay. Day.
It's definitely made out of silver.
Well done. It is.
Hi, Hi, I'm Chief DuPont.
And whistle. It was found within a sealed well, along with the bones of 17 children. Discovered just over a decade ago, after a sudden sinkhole in the graveyard exposed. Quite creepy. Poe's Curiosity Shop. It's 8 o'clock and time for another August update. Police investigating the death of 21-year-old Dorota Shaw have said there's no evidence to connect her boyfriend to the murder. Chief DuPont's statement was delivered in response to speculation from local residents that it was a crime of passion. Miss Shaw's strangled body was found by her mother around 10 p.m. last night in what the chief is calling a puzzling crime.
I can't believe people are gossiping already, Poe.
It's always the person closest to the victim, isn't that what they say?
But that poor boy. A reminder also that due to the murder, this weekend's Tulip Festival has been postponed. New dates will be announced soon. The weather's getting worse tonight with heavy rain forecast. So if you're heading out, you might want to take a jacket. Or a cab.
Or wear the jacket in the cab. That's 8 o'clock with Poe and Monroe.
Sam, I've got news. We've done a reading.
It's a Five of Swords. That's the same card as yesterday.
Let's hope it's not the Knight of Wands. This doesn't look good.
It's fine. This happens all the time. There are 78 cards in a deck. The same ones come up a lot.
I get it, but we drew the exact same cards yesterday. What are the odds of pulling all three again?
1 in 474,552. I know. I get asked a lot.
Bet it's a Ten of Swords.
It's happening again. There's going to be another murder. Then Lexi did her thing, and now we have a name. Alice Monroe.
I try. I protest as she sits down, but it's too late.
Sam, do me a favour, go easy on Violet. If we need to get anything out of her, let me deal with it. She'll open up to me. We've got a new target, Alice Monroe. Rain still says he was praying in his room, alone. Bronwyn and Lexi lied about being together last night. Violet says she doesn't remember last night, but I've got that in hand. Zach Weston says he was in his studio last night. No one corroborates. Oscar's in the clear. He was playing football last night. He said that Dorota had a wedding dress in her closet. Not many people would know that. That's it.
Be careful, she whispers. I'm really not supposed to say this, but the chief thinks there's an onomat on the loose. And when they get in your head, you can't get them out. Well, if I hear something, I'll let you know. No, you don't want to hear anything, not from an onomat. If you find one...
You're only alive because we want you to be.
Hi, Hi, I'm Chief DuPont.
Just like before I shot her. I believe...
Claude?
Violet, there's been a UFO sighted on a night that you can't remember.
Shh! Claude, I told you never to speak about this. Wait. So you think it's real?
I need you to tell Sam what happened.
Help what? Me? Think about it.
Like, babies? No, silly. I mean like this. She curls a finger... There's a softly scented palm on my forehead and whispers, because you're in...
Excellent work. Gold star for you. Oh, hello. This is my goddaughter, Sophia. She's over 9 and she's a maths genius.
Hello.
I have to pop to my room to get something. Be nice to her while I'm gone. Otherwise I might have to smother you in your sleep.
What's your name? I'm Sophia. Pleased to meet you. You want to know a secret? Violet was taken by aliens in their ship. Shh. She doesn't want anyone to know.
Sorry about that. Sophia, your mother will be here for you soon, so run along and wait. Now, Sam, how can I help you? Of course. Poe and Monroe. She's on the radio. I don't really want to. Thanks, Sam, for respecting my wishes. She has a wicked imagination for her age. I was seeing and hearing things that weren't there. That's why I'm taking pills. I needed to confide in someone, so I told Chief DuPont. Just Chief DuPont. And now you, apparently. Why are you talking about this again? You understand, every time you mention abduction, it opens up a vault of crushing memories that I'd rather stay locked up. No. Not even the moon.
Danger of certain people, people that this listener perceives as dangerous to them, and never falling and...
I've heard on the radio, but other than that, I don't know anything about her. I want to help though. That's the million-dollar question, isn't it? Although we can be sure of one thing. Not necessarily. If it's a traveller, then they just jump into any vessel, have their fun and go. It just needs to be someone nearby. A little bit. What did you want to know? A rite can take many forms, but from what we know about these travelers, it seems to be performing some kind of coming-of-age ceremony. We've all known about them for hundreds of years. We just know them by different names. Demons, skinwalkers, Jack the Ripper. They're all travelers. Three attempts? Yes, that's likely. But 3 victims? That's up to you, Sam. No pressure. No. I can do a reading if you want. Chariot. Is Zach a suspect? I'm sensing there's a lot of tension, pent-up frustration, like he's trying to keep everything together, and if he can just do that... I'm sorry, that's not much help to you, is it?
Perhaps, Marek, you need to take a step back, I think, in this case.
Very good.
Thank you.
So what's the news about Ellis? I feel so useless sitting here. I want to help. Yes, please use me. Tell me what to do. You got it. Me and the spirit world are going to have a serious chat. I'll get back to you when I find something.
Off it. But then I start noticing all these holes in the room. Big dark holes in the...
Yes, I met her at the radio station. I was offering my services. Earning a living's tricky when you travel around as much as we do. And last time I checked, Violet wasn't offering us room and board for free. In Birmingham, it was a man called Yuri Harris. He worked as a butcher. He beheaded all 3 girls within hours of each other. And we couldn't stop it. He pleaded not guilty for reason of temporary insanity. Because he said he'd see us again. In August. Before we even knew it was a month and a place.
Circle of negativity that happens in each aspect of her life. That's why she hasn't filled those holes.
Well, I can tell you.
Hi, Hi, I'm Chief DuPont.
Hello, I'm Violet. I'm Violet.
Hi, I'm Chief DuPont.
Thank you for your dreams.
You're listening to...
Chief, what a surprise to see you. Again.
Why didn't you tell me Ellis was next?
I told you Dorota was first. And that didn't turn out very well, did it? Let's hope Sam does a better job than you did.
Leaning heavily on his tripod-ended walking stick. Her east wind blew litter around his spindly legs. He pulled his cap down more, resumed his painful progress. From the doorway of the boarded-up shop, The low cloud had brought the day to a premature dusk, and the cold wind had driven people off the streets, and this old-timer was out late. Of beer and strolled blithely down the pavement, tracking the pensioner. The old man
Chief, I wanted to ask you something.
Is it about the boudoir photos?
Am I still a suspect?
Yes.
But I was playing football, and there was loads of witnesses. How?
Everyone is a suspect.
It's ridiculous.
Is it about the
Yeah. So it's true then?
I haven't seen them. I'm sorry. It's all tasteful stuff.
I didn't get them. Now I feel like I'm the only person who hasn't seen them.
There's a good chance one of them would be sleeping it off in some quiet, sacred corner.
Chief DuPont, thanks for calling in.
I'm just checking you're safe.
At the moment, my heart's beating 1,000 times a minute and I can't sit still. Every noise or knock on the door makes me jump out of my skin, and I keep looking behind me. Is that safe?
Have I ever let you down? What?
That you're just saying you're doing things when you're not actually doing anything. What's the plan, Chief DuPont? How do we stop this from happening? How do we stop me from dying?
They tried to get me to talk about it. I couldn't tell them what had driven me to breaking point, the fear of discovery or the endless replays in my head. So they loaded me up with antipsychotics, smothering my brain in cotton wool, and sat me in a... True that the devil looks after his own. Tonight's the night. It's been building up in me for the last 8 days.
Haven't you done enough predicting my death?
I'm sorry.
It's okay. I'm just kidding. I know it's not your fault. Well, unless you're the killer.
Have you made a decision about the show?
I think it's a no. Sorry. It's just the reading that you gave me the other day. I don't want to scare off the audience.
Why would I scare off your listeners? Why would I?
They don't want to hear talk of death and darkness. Well, they do, if it's in a story. But you can't tell them they're going to die.
I said you were going to die?
You didn't say you're going to die, just like that, but I remember the death card. And the devil. And you said it was... what was the word you used? My challenge. That I needed to die so I could be free from my chains. I know you said it doesn't mean literal death, but maybe it does.
Dark end of the street. Footsteps behind. Led to my height.